Hey there folks, welcome back to the shop. Today we have our first ever unboxing from Harbor Freight. That's right folks, so as you know, I am the Snap-on DIYer, if you will, but Harbor Freight had this beautiful item and a 15% off coupon, so I felt like I had to have it. Now the problem that I was trying to solve is that when I detail vehicles, pull the cars out into the driveway, I have to bring so much stuff with me. Spray bottles, brushes, paper towels, carpet cleaners, you name it, I have to bring it out there. So then I'm thinking to myself, not only do I have to like detail vehicles, I'm cleaning grills and just a lot of outdoor cleaning stuff. And it would be really nice to have all of that stuff on one rollable unit that I could set up for the purposes of cleaning and leave it as such. And so with that, I picked up this US General 30-inch service cart. Now the retail price on this is $129, but I had the 15% off coupon. Maybe there was a way to get a 25% off coupon, I don't really know. I'm not as connected with the Harbor Freight ecosystem, but I know a lot of you are because I get so many comments on all of my Snap-on unboxings about how I could buy everything I'm buying there at Harbor Freight and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, I don't have anything against Harbor Freight. I bought some other stuff there. I picked up a beautiful scroll saw for $5, made in USA. It's gotta be 40 years old probably. Anyway, I had to buy some blades there. So I appreciate some of what Harbor Freight has to offer. I'm just not that interested in buying the knockoff icon stuff. And I'm sure it's great. I'm sure it's great. But Snap-on is the originator of the designs. They're the ones investing and innovating and doing all that interesting stuff. So where I can and where I think it makes sense, I would rather spend my money supporting that company and having them make products in the USA as opposed to the knockoff stuff. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. We're here to get into this roll cart. Now this may be sacrilegious, but I am gonna use my Snap-on rebranded CRKT knife to unbox my Harbor Freight item. Now I did go with the 2-year, I guess extended warranty if you will on this. It was $17. And I'll be perfectly honest, this is the most substantial thing that I've ever bought from Harbor Freight. So I didn't really know if I needed to do that, but for 17 bucks, why not? Now I stuck with the green theme because, again, why not? And who knows, maybe I'll just snap a Snap-on logo on here. I'm not actually gonna do that. I mean, it feels substantial. I did pick up a single accessory for this, which is their magnetic paper towel holder, so I'll show you that at the end. But like I said, I think this is gonna work perfectly for what I'm looking for. I'm really not gonna have any tools in here, just cleaning instruments. So step one in the assembly process is getting the casters on there. We're using a 13mm bolt. This is my first time, maybe second time using this Ryobi 3/8 electric ratchet. Seems fine, and obviously for this application it's more than suitable. And like I said, I mean, so far it feels like I'm working with reasonable materials. I'm not even sure if Snap-on sells this. I know that Blue Point has like a service card of sorts, but I'm not sure that Snap-on makes anything that really resembles this specific product. And like I said, its main use case is to be my cleaning service cart. I officially don't like this ratchet. This trigger, I keep hitting this button, which then deactivates the whole thing. Then you gotta flip it back up, and I'm having a hard time getting like a nice soft trigger pull. Well, it seems to be rolling around pretty good. The bearings are greased from the factory. You can actually hear them sort of sticky, which I think is a good thing. But we'll set this aside and move on to the top shelf. So once again, owing to the fact that these instructions are lame, you have to take the drawer out to get this top piece on. Just FYI, in case you decide to buy one of these yourselves. And it certainly doesn't specify that here in the instructions, which seems like a thing that you should include. And I'll tell you what, getting these nuts on these bolts is a real pain in the ass.
A few moments later.
All right, so I ended up just having to put some music on and put it together because there's a lot of nuts and bolts and kind of a pain, to be quite honest. But I did learn my lesson. If you watch the video where I assembled my Viper shop chair, I had tightened everything down way too soon in the process and nothing fit together at the end. I left everything pretty loose on this thing until the very end, so everything went together quite nicely. As you can see, I mean, it looks nice, right? I don't really know what I'm comparing it to exactly. I mean, again, for $100, I think it's a pretty nice shop cart. As far as the tools that you're gonna need to be able to put this thing together, 10mm wrench, 13mm wrench, 13mm socket, and Phillips head screwdriver of some kind. I ended up using a 13mm long for the top bolts, right? When I was trying to tighten them, the edge of the thing comes up too high, you can't get to it with a short. So, but again, you don't need it, right? You can just, well, you don't have to use this big giant Ryobi electric ratchet, which this thing is fine for putting together furniture, but I can't imagine using this on something like an engine bay where space is critical. So let's start loading this thing up and see if it's gonna work for our use cases. So actually, before we load it up, you can see I got all my stuff ready to go here. I have some extra of whatever this stuff is called. I'm thinking we'll put this on the top, and that could be kind of nice. I've got a cutting mat underneath here, but my cutting mat is really not long enough. So I'm gonna kind of move it around, but that's okay. So this fits on there pretty nicely. It may be ever so slightly too big, but that's probably fine. So as far as like how to organize this, I think the jury is still out. I think for these smaller spray bottles, I really appreciate the stuff from the chemical guys. These could probably go, you know, on the end there. The bigger bottles, the problem is, like with this one, if you put it on the end, you gotta turn to the side to get it out, but whatever, we can decide over time what the best way to organize this is. And in our drawer here, we're gonna have our detail brushes. Of course, you gotta have some microfibers. And then the last thing I bought to close this out is this magnetic paper towel holder. So that seems pretty cool. Got your paper towels on the end. Well, folks, there you have it. So this is pretty much fully loaded out. I've got spray bottles all along here. Got a bunch of spray bottles back here, room up here. You know, obviously you're gonna want space like this when you're detailing or cleaning just to set stuff down. But down below I've got that's the carpet shampooer, Ryobi cordless vacuum. And in the drawer so far, all I have is a few detail brushes and microfibers, but I'm sure we'll add some stuff to that over time. And yeah, I mean, really, if you're looking to do some cleaning, you could do a whole lot worse than this thing right here. So I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. We'll see how it works for us over the summer as we're doing a lot more cleaning, or at least I guess in the spring as we get ready for summer. And then we'll decide whether or not it's gonna live its life as this, or if we're gonna wanna repurpose it for something slightly different. So that's gonna do it for today's video. Let me know what you think of the US General service cart and whether or not you think it makes sense as like a car detail cleaning McGaffer. And let me know what you also think about my very first Harbor Freight unboxing here on the channel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the very next video.